Hello, hello. The finale? Maybe. I mean, I hope so. Since I don't really know how long this game is, it's hard to say. If it's like 4 hours left or less, then yeah, probably. Maybe 4 to 5 hours. If it's any more than that, if I beat this dungeon and find out that there's like, yeah, exactly what you're saying, Countess. If that is a thing, then no, today is not the finale. Alright. Let's go. Palace of Winds atop a field of clouds. Monsters are pretty tough, but probably not as tough as the ones that you're fighting in random. Okay. Oh, come on. Whatever. Go away. Run by you. I don't even remember. How do you kill these dumb things? I don't even remember Goopies being in DQ8. So... Great, the boomerang does it. Fine. When I played Wind Waker, yes, but it's probably been whenever HD came out. (2013-ish, 2014? Probably when I played it last. It's been a while, anyway. Also, Wind Waker owns, so... I do want to play it again at some point. Maybe the GameCube version. I know the GameCube version's generally, like, missing some QOL stuff, but... no Switch sale, and... I know the Triforce chart stuff is supposed to be worse, but... I still want to try it. Thanks, Super Mario World. I think Wind Waker, well, Wind Waker HD at least, one that I've played, is the best, or at least my favorite, casual Zelda game. One that I had the most fun with. I know you don't like all the escort missions and junk. But yeah, I figured that you were referring to the enemy, yeah. I don't remember them from Wind Waker, so. I was saying it's been so long. I need the ground pound item, yep. Well, I'm expecting there to be a... some kind of, like... hat you know, or not hat, like feather, like a roc's feather kind of thing, to jump. Yeah, I'm expecting there to be a hat. No. Something to let me jump. I don't know if this is how I'm supposed to do this, but this is how we're going to try to do this. Oops, that's not the sword right now. Wizard. Shot faster than I expected. Oh god. Oh, that actually hit me. Oh. I walked into the spike there. You got the Rock's Cape. Well, I said it was going to be a Rock's Feather. Interesting, so if you hold it, it does the double jump thing. I'm really confused by, like, these edges that look like they go wider than the platform. Like, it makes it look like there's something there, but apparently there's not. I guess let's go back and check this out. I doubt that this is going to trigger this thing to flip. But it does. And it's a kinstone piece. Great. Thanks, one of the Oracle games? Did the Oracle games have something other than the regular feather? Oh, I guess it had a feather level 2, right? I think there were 2 levels of it or something. Level 2 is the cape? Ah, okay. I did not remember that. Well... I'm like tentatively thinking if I can get through like a bunch of other games that I want to play this year, like maybe just replaying almost all of the Zelda games on stream this year. I don't know. It's a tentative idea. Okay, hit them. Okay. Can't use that in midair. Zelda block puzzles are the worst. Yeah, I know. I was complaining about that. Well, I was complaining that I wish they had used at least one of them for buttons, and like also had the confirm button be like A instead of R. Like use L and R for items, L, R, and B for items or something like that. I don't know how I'm gonna hit 4 of these. Oh. That one counts for 2. Oh, no it doesn't. But I guess I only need 3. Strong Gale. Hold on to your hat. Thanks, SM64. What is... Okay. I guess that's just dumb. Oh, I guess you can hide in it. Okay, that makes a little more sense. This is laggy. Where do I go from here? I probably need to use the can of Pacheesi. This dungeon sure making you use all of your stuff. Which is cool, except for the button thing. Reminds me of, well, I mean, I guess the handheld's always kind of been like that, but it reminds me a little bit of Majora's Mask. In the, like, constant... the constant pausing to swap items. Like, it's quick, it doesn't make that big of a difference, but it's still, like, a little bit annoying. I like how I just can't jump over that. They're little dots on the ground, and yet they are solid blocks of adamantium. May as well be. Excuse me. Oh no. God damn it. I sneezed and lost my clones. Sure do. That's probably fine. I was thinking to myself, do I want the boomerang equipped? I wonder if I can kill those birds. Oh. Really small bomb explosions. This is some level design. We'll just say that. What makes the most sense? Can I just do corners? Okay. So I can go that way. What's this way? Door. Pot room. Whatever. This is probably just fine. Oh, ooh, this isn't fine. Maybe it is fine. Yeah, it's just fine. Thanks, Wallmania. This game really is the Mole Mania of Zeldas. Mole Mania had good music, that's true. That's... touché. Purple Mario says he likes the music in this game, and he's a music person, musician. Floor 4. Oh no. Can't believe anything Mario says with a smile after it. I mean, he said it out loud. So I can't hear the smile. I really don't like the blocks in this game that never let you push them the way that would make sense. Definitely smiling. That's probably true. Okay. 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 But I feel like Mario always smiles, so... Especially 22 hours into a DQ7 stream. Oh, Kinstone piece. Yay! My favorite. What? Okay. to get that piece of heart then. So I guess I just leave it there. Unless I find something that lets me fall down onto it. Oh, but there's a grate over it, so... yeah, I don't know. That hurt. Okay. Okay, that was weird. Well, I'm probably going to die now. Can I push any of these? No. It's fine. It might be fine. I need to figure out how to get that piece of heart down there for the free refill. Do I need... I guess I probably shouldn't have. Let's actually do this one. Doesn't matter, but easy to keep them straight in my head. From the front. Oh, is this going to turn on the wind? Yeah, it is. It's so, like... doesn't feel good. Okay. He kept coming. Okay, that missed. I don't want rupees. Stop giving me rupees. Okay. I'm trying to walk out of the wind. God. Okay. Why a lot of things? Okay. I guess we're just gonna jump over here and die. Okay, or we're not even gonna jump over there. Because... Great, I can shoot laser beams now. Wonderful. Can I get a heart instead? Because there's no way I'm gonna be able to do this jump without dying. Yep. Just like that. Just randomly won't go high enough. Okay! That guy just moved through the block! Very Zelda thing, it sure is. Let's see if I die to this boss. At least we get a couple hearts here. Oog! Does this go back to the beginning? Maybe I'll leave and go get another fairy. Have double the fairies. Place goes on forever. Sure does. How much more could there be? You had to say it, didn't you? The spin attack in this game also sucks. It has a super long charge and it has like no... like range. Range is the word I'm looking for, but no area. Newegg says I wasn't selected for their daily Newegg shuffle. It's annoying having to go on their website every day and say, yes, I want to try to buy this if they come in stock. And invariably they're just like, nah, you're not selected. They don't tell you how many, like, actually come to stock or how many are selected or anything like that. It's just like, you get an opportunity to buy this on this day. They're also like becoming increasingly annoying when it comes to bundles. Like they keep bundling shitty motherboards with like 3080s and 3090s, and it's like, I don't want to buy this motherboard that's garbage. I need a motherboard, I'll buy a good one if I, like, if you say your choice of motherboards or something, but it's like, nope, you buy the one they want you to buy. The GameStop, yeah, kinda. Similar. Their console bundles that always come with games. But it's like, they're already selling, like, the graphics cards themselves for $200 to $300 over MSRP. And then they're also bundling in another $300 piece of hardware with it. And so I don't sign up for those, because I don't want the extra junk, you know? But some of them I do if it's something cheap, like a power supply or whatever. Like, maybe I can find a use for that, or even just, like, resell it or something. Power supplies are just kind of universal. Within reason. One of the motherboards that keeps being bundled a lot even looks okay on paper. But when you look at reviews, it's like, oh, there's an issue where the CMOS just stops working and you need to pull out the CMOS battery and reset your BIOS every time you shut down your PC. Or every day, or whatever the thing was. And it's like, no, you know, that doesn't sound like something I want. It's like, no wonder they're trying to bundle it, because no one wants to buy it. There were stairs back there. I don't know if I should go up the stairs first or not. I guess let's try it. I kind of want to go down there, but I also kind of don't. Plenty of places up here I need to go still. Oh, I also, I figured out who in 13.2 has the Grimoire Vice VA. He's, like, literally in the intro to the game, and I'm trying to remember if he just doesn't speak in the intro, or if I just didn't notice until you pointed it out. But, eventually I noticed. I'm really bad at stuff like that. Oh, I'm like running around like a crazy person on fire, that's why I'm in trouble. Apparently you can't use stairs while you're on fire. TIL. Maybe I should have stopped, dropped, and rolled. You're doing all the side quests? Oh no. Oh no. Send help. Oh no. You better not break that fragile delivery running through the desert. Hey, it's that piece of heart. That one you did already. The fishing ones. How many fishing ones are there? 5? I feel like I must have done most of them then. I know I didn't do the desert one. Maybe there's one after that too. I guess let's try falling down here. Got a kinstone piece. Hooray! Where to go? This dungeon is very confusing. Oh, was it? Okay, I bet up here is where I've got to go next, right? There are 8. Oh no. Oh no. No desire to play it. I really enjoy the original Nier, so I've only started the Replicant a little bit because I've been in the middle of some other games, but last one isn't numbered. Oh, is this? Maybe I just need to fall down this hole. Yo, PM 920. Thank you for the host. Enjoy your nap. Or sub? Did I say host? I meant sub. I can't speak, okay? Just pretend I'm saying the words that I'm supposed to say, and not what I actually say. That's funny. Congrats again on your run yesterday, Mario. I wish I had seen more of it. I saw a fair amount, but like, I want to see all of it. So I mean, I'll probably watch the VOD. But it was a busy day at work, so I missed a fair amount while working, and then I fell asleep in the evening for a nap that lasted a million years. Which I did again tonight, too. I don't remember where this other key door was. I guess I have a map. Well, the map isn't actually helpful either. It'd be weird if I didn't nap through it. Well... Still sorry I napped through it. When I was napping, I had it up on my TV. Like, napping was partially, like, dozing here or there. So I caught bits and pieces during the nap hours. I don't remember at all where this locked door is. And the map really isn't being helpful. I am ready for the weekend. This week at work has been really busy. It's been like a productive week. It's not been like a bad busy necessarily. Oh. But it's enough that I'm ready for the weekend. Figure out if I want to try playing DQ9 this weekend or not. Just go all the way over. That was good. Yeah, it's really exciting, Mario. Hope you guys have fun. I hope you introduce him to the DQRTA marathon. thought about playing DQ3 tonight instead of this to practice. Well, I thought about playing Rando also. But I also thought about playing Vanilla to do a practice run. And then I'm like, I both didn't really want to. And also, like, it's DQ3. Like, it'll be fine. Nice short DQ9 run. Nothing for all that? I was really hoping there would be a drop or something, like a key that came down. Well... Oh, okay. There is something here, it's just... you can't see it. Classic Zelda. It's like, let's show you cracked walls sometimes and not others. Oh, there's a thing here too. Okay. And that's not like really a helpful place to put that, is it? Oh, I guess I can move that one. Maybe you have to get through here without blowing these idiots up. And of course, they're like floating, so you can't really tell where they are. Or where you are. You got a small key. Can I instead get big hearts? A fairy would be nice. Seriously? God, these hitboxes suck. All the hitboxes in this game suck. All I got for that was a key. Like, I don't know where to use a key. Okay. Is now the time when I leave and go get another fairy? And just health in general? Let's save. Always save. But I'm still on the fence about whether I want to, Oh my god. Stop taking damage. I went up there, but it's like grayed out on my map. Yeah, this room just, like, doesn't exist on the map. It's fine. I actually wanted to come back here anyway. Wanted to see if there was a key door down here, because I can't see locked doors on this map. I just see that stuff up there and that stuff there. I'm still on the fence of, like, I do DQ9 if I want to try playing in J or not, just to, like, keep it a little bit shorter. And then also, if I do play in J, do I want to spend a little while tomorrow or whatever, like, prepping for it, or do I just want to assume that I'll be able to figure everything out on the fly? There's really not much I would need to prep for. It's mostly would just be, like, taking down notes of a few ability names like Whipping Boy and Defending Champion. Strong D. And maybe also a little bit of skill point stuff. I don't know. Skill points aren't, like, super important. I can just do the normal route with an extra Metal Slime and take what I get. But could also actually try to plan it out. I have no idea where I'm going. I hate that all these outside rooms you just can't. That they just don't show up on the map. Makes it very difficult to keep track of where I am. It really does mean I'm just going through the same rooms over and over again, because I don't know where to actually go. I'm back to this floor. Back to this door that I don't know how to open. Try to move out of the way, but no. Also can't knock anything back, or stun anything, or do anything useful. Grumble, grumble, grumble. It's fine. Let me guess, this is gonna be a kinstone piece. I'm really tired. I napped for quite a while this evening, and I'm drinking a coffee, and I'm still tired. Oh, even better, it's rupees that I can't use. And even better, it's blocks that I can't push. This level design sucks. What room is that down there? I don't know. I guess let's go back up there. The map shows more stuff there, so... Oh, that's why I didn't go more that way, because there's a small little pillar blocking my way. Which means I need to get there from down below, and I need to get here from who knows how. No idea. I don't mind being, like, a little bit lost, but I do mind being a little bit lost when it's because this map is so bad. It's kind of the point of the maps in these games, and it just doesn't do a good job of it. But all the outside areas just not showing up on the map, it makes this really difficult. Also, locked doors not showing up on the map. Alright, what was down this way? What was this room? Do I remember what was over here? No. I don't. Just a loop. There wasn't, like, anything else in this section, was there? Okay. Nothing else here. Alright. Where am I going? I can't even push the right button. I keep pressing L and R to try to cycle through floors in the map. And spoiler alert, but that has never been the button to cycle through doors in the map. And it also still isn't. There's this spot on the 4th floor where there's a door. And it's like... it's probably where I need to go. But that also just might be the door that's behind one of the barriers that I can't. down. Where are the stairs up? This is 3. Oh. Maybe I'm also just an idiot. I mean, very possible. Maybe not an idiot, maybe just tired. Yeah, but I mean, like, in terms of just, like, maybe I'm just getting lost because I'm forgetting literally every single room because they all look the same and I can't keep them straight. Like, maybe I shouldn't need to be looking at the map every time I change rooms. Yeah, this is that dumb room that I can't get through. This is the one that's blocked. The only one that seems to need a key, and I have a key. But I can't. Get over there. Turn the switch back off, right? Is there a thing in this room? Oh, I just wanted to walk by you. Get out of my freaking way. I've killed you 20,000 times. Maybe it's just this. I think this is just stupid. I think this is just like the one spot where you want to just fall through these dumb holes. Even though everywhere else it voids you out. In this one place it doesn't. Great. Why did you turn left? I also just feel like you take so much, I don't want to say unavoidable damage, but like near unavoidable damage in this game. Oh, I should have bottled that fairy. Well. Why is this guy back? Care about the bombs. Kinstone piece get. Yep. More money that I can't even pick up. I can't spend my money because I need everything I want to buy costs 600 rupees and I don't have a 600 rupee wallet. Are we at the end? Boss key? Do I have the boss key already? I hope I've got the boss key already. Okay, I do. Never mind. That was just a kinstone piece. Because of course it was. It's all that's in this game are kinstone pieces. Boss time? Fairy? No, no fairy. Alright. Let's see what we got. What is this? What is this? Okay. What? What? Why didn't that work? Hello? There is way too much stuff going on that little platform. Is that it? No, it's not. I need to get back on that thing. I mean, or I don't need to get on it, and I just need to hit the eyes. I'm not entirely sure. Oh. I did not enjoy that boss. Like, there's just too much stuff going on. And it was weird. Flying manta ray things. Like, it wasn't the worst thing in the world. They're just like, eh. You got a heart container, hooray! You like this boss. You like a lot about this game that I don't like, Mario, so... Let's go revive the Sacred Blade. That's exactly what I wanted. Where am I? Is this the outside of the temple? Yeah, I guess it was. Trying to think if there was anything here. I don't know. Very nostalgic. This game, you realized you could still play games even as an adult. I see. I mean, that's a good reason. I certainly don't fault anyone for enjoying a game for any reason. Well, mostly. But, Oh. I don't know. Let's come back this way. GBA SP. I never had an SP. I had the regular GBA, which was fine, but the SP was definitely cooler. You have the Rocks Cape, and you've acquired a new skill. The Down Thrust. At your jump's peak, swing the sword. Is this like the Z2 pogo? That doesn't really look much like a pogo, but... Yeah, I know you can use the regular GPA as a controller also, I think. I don't think it needs the SP. Maybe the SP's got extra features, though. Yeah, I never had the OG DS. I didn't have a DS until the 3DS. I got the OG 3DS. And then I traded that in for an XL, because I traded it in, yeah, for an XL, because I never played it because it was too small. I didn't really like it that much. I thought about picking up, at some point, an OG DS for, capture. But I don't really mind just playing on my 3DS. There are a few things, like, it's a little bit slower for games that start on power on. Stuff like that. Manips work differently if you're playing anything where you want to try to do RNG manips. But in general, I think I'm just not going to buy a second capture DS for no reason. Yeah, I knew I did that. I buy enough other dumb stuff for no reason that I think I'll skip out on that one. Like the new retro tank that I'll probably buy on Saturday or whatever day that is those orders open up. Oh, he sees me from there. I'm just too impatient. I'm expecting that they're not going to be that hard to get. Not sell out instantly because of the price. If they came in like $100 cheaper, then I bet they would have been a lot harder to get, but... I don't remember how I get back past these dudes. Set a reminder. It's 9 Pacific, right? 9 AM Pacific, so noon for me. I mostly want it just for, like... Of course that doesn't get by him. Like, everything PS2. Basically. Stop! Like, in a loop. Yeah, exactly, the 480i stuff. I'm pretty sure I don't. Can't be little link there. The PS2 is one of those systems that I've been, like, collecting games for. I use that word fairly loosely over the past few years. And, just haven't gotten around to playing any of them because of how poorly my current stuff does 480i. That said, it's me, right? Like, I've been collecting games that I want to play on every system for years that don't have that problem, which means that, realistically, I'm probably not going to play them, even once I get that. Yeah, so many RPGs, exactly. Drop. Oh, I should have talked to the Weapon Master again to figure out if they had anything else for me or what the next thing would have been. I guess I can always run back there again. Power of the Wind Element. Your blade has become the Four-Sword. Focus power in your blade and release to fire a beam. This definitely can't be a trap. Huh. Show us where the light force is hidden. Tree. Oh, there's text. Long, long time ago. World was on the verge of being swallowed by shadow. The tiny peakody appeared from the sky, bringing the hero of men a sword and a golden light. With wisdom and courage, the hero drove out the darkness. When peace had been restored, the people enshrined that blade with care. And the force of the golden light, embodied in Hyrule's princess, shone forth upon the lands. First you give me my magic cap, and then you guide me here. Been far too generous, but now I no longer have any use for you. Zap. Light Force, thanks DQ9. He disguised himself as the king to search for the Light Force. When he learned of this place, he waited for us to reforge the blade. The stained glass is accurate. Princess Zelda holds the Light Force. Patty will do whatever it takes to steal that power from her. If he succeeds, we may never be able to return the princess to normal. So I say thanks, DQ9. I know it's called Life Force in English, but in J it's Light Force. Light Force and Dark Force instead of Life and Funereal. Oh. Yep. What happened here? I'm gonna turn to stone all of them, the minister and the guards. All just like Princess Zelda. Need your help. Buddy took out our petrified princess to the roof of the castle. The real king of Hyrule must be locked up somewhere in the castle. Dark Hyrule Castle. Music is awesome. I mean, it kind of sounds like all of the rest of the music in this game. I mean, awesome isn't exactly the word that comes to mind. What do I need to do as Shrunk? Go down there, okay. What do I need to do as Shrunk? Yes, that is what I just said. Those were the words that came out of my mouth. mini Link. I don't know. I wish I could use the Pegasus boots when little. Oh, I can't even use the stairs when little. Well, can I even get down there then? I guess I can probably fall here, right? It's the king. 55.5k points. Yeah, but you don't have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 points. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Use it to get out of the castle from the basement. Do I want to get out of the castle, though? Like, is that what I'm trying to do? Like, they said he had brought Zelda to the roof. So... could I make something worth 1261 points? No. I mean, technically, yes, I can, but I won't. Oh, he's bugging out on me. You found a dungeon map. Like, I could probably jump down there, but looks like this goes to where I've already been. Okay. Well, there's the exit to the castle. It's another locked door. I guess if I ever wanted to leave and go do side stuff, now is probably the time. If I ever wanted figurines or kinstone fusing. Let's go to the left. What is the point of this? Oh. Countess, how's your, if you're still around. How's your rando going? Are you still fighting goopies? Quit like 2 hours ago. That was before I even started streaming. Broken putt skill seeds that didn't help. Oh no. I'm having trouble with movement. Not the puzzle, just like stepping on the wrong squares. So what, you couldn't get past the first boss? The... whatever was in... what's the... merman guy's... geyser. Whatever was in his spot. 6 trees. That's ridiculous. How far did HS and Ellie get earlier? Oops. In 6 hours, they played 4 seeds and got to Calamari's spot twice. Oh. They kept hitting post-game bosses? Yeah, I... Come on. I keep getting this cycle all messed up. I was busy at work today, so, like, I saw that they were doing it, but I didn't get a chance to, actually watch. I was on... We got a project for... Well, not a project, but, like, we're upgrading our... We're replacing our server hardware with new hardware. And so... I was working with my coworker on configuring a lot of it today, because he's not seen the process before. So I was kind of just, like, on a call with him almost all day. Working on that. I don't remember where the locked door I found was. Because the map doesn't show locked doors. Yeah, I mean, you can't throw post-game bosses or end-game bosses at the beginning of the game unless you're going to do something like Career Day or Free Enterprise where they actually rebalance the bosses around where you find them. Yeah, exactly, Mario. Yeah, if you could do that. That's, like I said, that's what Free Enterprise and Career Day do. At least I think Free Enterprise does. Pretty sure. Like, honestly, of the RPG randomizers that I've played, Career Day is probably my favorite of them. Both because I like FF5, but also because... Oh... But also because I like the way that you fight bosses at different points in the game in a way that makes it like interesting to refight them. Huh. I guess they can just walk over that. Bomb all three of these. Really? I am sure that there was something on the other side of this wall. That seems like a thing that would be easy to get stuck on. He accused you of casting the open spell. Wow. God, I hate these enemies. It's because, like, you have to just stand in front of them. Otherwise, they just don't attack you. Why did this thing move? Which way do I want to go? I guess let's try to the right first. Because this looks like a dead end. You got the compass. That's not entirely a dead end. I'm surprised, a little surprised, Countess, that you don't play, well, in terms of randos at least, stuff like Career Day or maybe even Free Enterprise. I know you're not a big FF4 fan. More often, because those, like, based on what you've said, sound more like the type of rando that it seems like you'd find interesting. I wish enemies dropped health more often in this. There's like no reason to fight anything in this game, it feels like. This isn't a thing I can push, right? An enemy actually dropped a heart? Wow. Alright, what am I have to do with four Zeldas? 4 Zeldas. Yep, not 4 Links, 4 Zeldas. Oops, all Zeldas. God, more of these gales. This mechanic is, like, not great. And this game really likes using it. I get what they were going for, because it's kind of similar to the Leaf and Wind Waker. The Leaf and Wind Waker is just, like, better. I want to kill these guys to see if anything drops when I do. And nothing's going to drop when I kill them. And then I'm going to be mad. And I'm going to try to bomb walls. Oh, there's a thing over there. Never mind. Let's check this door then, before I go over there. Well, I didn't realize that there was that pathway over there, so it's fine. I meant, like, I was expecting, like, a key or something like that. Like a room trigger. Because I didn't realize that. Oh. Apparently, you can't jump these? All smiles. Man, I am still, like, tired. I need, like, an energy drink or something. This half decaf coffee is not, it's not doing it for me. An energy drink at almost 11 o'clock sounds like a bad idea, but... Oh no. Oh no. No! Pick up the bomb! God, these controls suck! I'm just dead now. What can I even do? It doesn't matter, because they... just walk away from it anyway. And have 20 billion hit points. can't wait until I decide to learn Link to the Past and can't get past the first enemy you fight in the game. Maybe it's not actually the first, but it's close to it. I pressed the throw button, but apparently that doesn't mean you throw anything. Whatever. Go away. I can go left or I can go right. Let's go to the right, because that goes back to a place that I've already been. Oh, no, it doesn't. It goes up. Better idea. Let's leave. Did I miss the blue portal? Or is there no blue portal? Where's the dumb fairy fountain? Oh, it's in the zone below this. What's down here? Am I just one short of a heart? Maybe I'll get another heart piece. I'm sure there's somebody that wants kinstones. I accidentally slashed into this, or dashed into this. The sword beam. When your hearts are full. Okay. Possession! That's 6 of them, right? Yeah, I'm missing one. Because there was one of the master I found in the swamp said that he would only teach me if I found all 7. And I only have 6. Do I have the 7 magic containers? Have I not been in here? Who's this dude? Oh, is this one of the places that was closed for like the entire game? Oh yeah, it's the one with this. Figurines and a bigger wallet. No, all I want is one more piece of heart, since I'm so close to, since I'm only one heart piece away, or I want another heart container since I'm only one heart piece away from getting it. And now I'm 0 away. But I found some kinstone pieces. Oh, there's one other thing I wanted to check. There is one other thing I wanted to check. Can I go? Okay. I wanted to go... I meant to do this last time and I forgot. I wanted to check the Goron that I had partially unlocked with one of my kinstone pieces, because he ended up in the tunnel, and it's before I had the mole claws, and I'm wondering if I can get whatever he was digging for, the mole claws. Oh, hello, Tingle. You really are in this game. Is this going to be like the trading quest where you have to find Tingle in 20 different zones? Where is this? There's a rock thing there, too. Yeah, Mario, can't you read the stream? It says no spoilers. Is this where the Goron was? No. It's around here somewhere, though. I'll look around for him for a few minutes. I don't think he was in the woods, though. I mean, the first part was, I think, 5 hours, and the second part was 4 hours. And then this is part 3. This has been going for almost 2. Yeah, it's been a short game. Oh, I never found that other bean either. Oh, is that the... Oh no, that's these guys. This is the ranch. I was gonna say, was that the Goron? But it is not. Alright, maybe I'm just not gonna find the Goron guy. It's not in South Hyrule Field, is he? I don't think so. Pretty sure he was east of here. This is that, already been there. Have not been up here. Oh yeah, I have. It just brings me back to here. Well... we'll find out what Tingle's thing did, but otherwise, we're just gonna jump back into the dungeon. Oh, that thing is already... This keeps messing me up. In the cutscene, it did this earlier too, and it was last time. In the cutscene, this block is still here. I'm sure this is like nothing, because this is the beginning part of the game. I'll say that I think it's nothing. I guess there are 4 of these. With some prize in the middle. Alright, let's save. I'm going to take a quick break for a minute or two. Just gonna grab an energy drink, which is a terrible idea, and also grab my ice pack to rest my wrists on. So I'll be back in just a minute. Okay, I'm back. Hopefully this wakes me up a little bit. Alright, left or right? We'll go left. I was going to go right when I thought it went down, but then it didn't go down, so... It's going to want me to bomb these, isn't it? Can I... Nope. Oh. Oh. I can't do anything up here? Can I drop a bomb off this? No. I can't. Man. Nope. They just blow up too quickly. Oh, I wonder if I can... Oh, but now my sword beam is gone. No. I was hoping that it would end up, just running onto the moving platform. But it didn't. I have no sense of how long these things take to blow up, so... Okay, apparently I actually just can't drop bombs on it. Oh, I also apparently dropped 2 of them. I also apparently can't throw it! Sure. Bomb arrows aren't a thing. We'll come back this way once I have bombs, I guess. Oh, where's my... Or we'll go that way now, because I can't do anything this way. Can't open these. Have I already been... Oh yeah, was that how I got here? Well, I got here from down here, right? Yeah. Okay. The room to the right just looked familiar. Oh, can you just suck these up? Maybe that's the answer. Well, it might be the answer. They explode super quickly, but I guess that's the answer. Oh, but I still can't actually get through that door. I can shoot that? Okay, I could not have told you that that was on the same vertical level as I am. Those buttons look like they are above me. But alright. Where am I going here? I guess up. Still hate these enemies. Great. Oh boy, the double. The double. I have no idea what that icon means, so I'm expecting this to not work. I mean, double is a thing in and out. Not Canada related, but... Oh, okay. I'll bet killing those 4 enemies, like, each one destroys one of these locks or something. Or the 4 rooms worth of enemies. Find out. This version seems much slower than the, like, slower moving than the other variety of... Or than the black ones that I had just fought. Or even the red ones. What? I walk into the room at a height to get hit by this? I wasn't still in the doorway? Okay. I didn't move forward. There are so many little things in this game like that that bug me. Oh my god. I guess the answer is to stand in one place and mash the button. While I try to actually, like, play the game. There's one key. Like, I could go back down that way, but I don't know why I would want to. This way seems to get me back where I want to be more easily. If I have to, like, leave and go get more fairies, like, and get healed, I don't care. Like, I could do that now. I could go get health and heal up and junk, but I may as well use the fairies I have if I need the health or whatever, right? Like, just go back and get them fill up on all of it later. Always stand in one place and mash the sword in this game. I mean, to be fair, that's kind of just like the answer to most 2D Zelda games, or most of the handheld Zelda games anyway. So I shouldn't be surprised that it applies to this one, but the lack of iframes just, like, kind of just makes that the strat. Of course that wasn't enough. We'll go around again. Probably just gonna make me fall here, but I can't like push this another direction, right? No. Guess we're falling down. Mommy man. Oh, we got the 1 heart laser beams. Where does that door go to? Huh, I actually don't know. Small key number 2. I don't have small heart, 1 heart laser beams anymore. These are just all arrows. Oops, all arrows. Yeah, I guess we just go down. Well, I'm at 3 hearts and this thing is still beeping at me. We did it? What did we do? All the fishing? Nice. Oh, for the first half. How many of the fishing is first half or second half? I'm kind of debating if I want to also try doing all side quests. I'm not super sold on the idea, but oh, I like these puzzles. These fishing ones are dumb. I remember when I played, I got up to whichever one needed the sand fishing, and then I just never figured out the sand fishing. I think I know where it is now, but I didn't at the time. Oh, was that second half? I thought it was fishing 5. 4 or 5. You know what's really telling me I need a haircut? This hair keeps getting into my mouth. Ash, are the, do you know if the achievements on Replicant are the same as the original. Probably. There were a couple that looked really, really dumb on the original, like having a million gold dollars, whatever the currency is called. Maybe it wasn't a million, but it was some like really high number. Upgrading all the weapons to max. Maybe that'll be better in this version, I guess. They could have made improvements there. Sorry, it's hit the mic. Three in between, huh? Really dumb farming one. Oh, yeah. One of the achievements was a dumb farming one, too. Oh, it's... They're buttons you have to put like this. I thought they were switches you needed to stand on. Okay, that makes this probably less awful. But what if there are lines of dialogue from the farming? What if you can bring Devila pretty flowers and she talks to you? Just read the full script that you own. That's fair. Have you looked at that yet? Is that pretty cool? Nice. Where am I going? Let me get back to that room. Yeah, this will get me there. Actions and stuff in it. Oh, cool. Does it include like the overworld banter and that sort of thing? Awesome. Because that stuff's kind of easy to miss, either if you're fighting stuff or like trigger another event or whatever. you got the big key. Alright. Let's go refill HP. Maybe also, and find some stuff like bombs or whatever. No. Oops. Oh, it was... No, that's the Tingle one. It was this one. And then I guess we'll see if we're at a boss. I assume we are. This dungeon felt like it was shorter than the last one, and also maybe easier. So I'm questioning whether I'm actually at the... Like, it's easy to think that this is like the final boss or whatever, but I'm questioning that. Guess we'll find out. You are persistent, aren't you? You've come to stop my little ceremony. Well, you're too late. A mere 3 more chimes of the bell will bring the ceremony to its end. And with the 3rd toll of the bell, it will become like a god. If only he had a gong instead of a bell. And your precious Princess Zelda will be nothing more than cold, dead stone. Quickly to the roof. Love how I already took 2 hearts. Only 2 chimes left. It's fine. She's got the Triforce of Wisdom. There's no way anything like that could happen to her. Or I guess you can't Pegasus boots while you're in 4 swords mode. Another bell has tolled. Oh, it's these guys. This is fine. Oops. I don't know what button I just pushed. I thought I pushed A, but it registered select somehow. Come on. Three of these guys at once sucks. Sometimes they just, like, instantly attack you, and other times they... Like that, like, not like that. Like sometimes they've got a charge up, and other times it's just like, boom, out of nowhere. These black ones are really tough. Because they attack so quickly. And have a ton of health. Like, I'm already dead, right? Like... would have been complete? Just ring the bell. Not yet drained all the life force housed in Princess Zelda. But what I have should suffice. I shall be transformed unstoppable. First, let me attend to the pesky worms who would trifle with me. Really? Well, that looks... yeah. Very. Nope, that's not a reflect thing. Great. I'm playing this so terribly. Okay, there's 2 more hits. No? Okay. I was trying to kill this thing as it spawned, since they always seem to spawn in the same spot. But it just, like, doesn't work. Which is dumb. Nope. That's fine. Four? Maybe I don't have to shoot this. Can I hit this with the bow or with the sword instead? Oh, I can. Alright, well that makes a lot more sense. It looked like a bow thing, especially since I found arrows in this room. Makes me feel even more like a dummy. I don't understand what I'm supposed to be doing here, though. the solution is to use the cane. Great. Another phase. Yeah, another phase. I am going to die. Now what? Filled with a power that you cannot begin to understand. So I'll probably have to redo this, but realistically, this guy's pretty easy now that I know what to do. On the first phase. I don't know what to do yet on this phase. Whoa. Yeah, we can break these. I thought I tried doing them earlier, but... But if these things can drop hearts, maybe we can turtle it out. Of course, is it worth turtling it out versus just, like, taking the death and coming back here with a bunch of health? I don't know. Itching my nose. Okay. None of this seems to do anything. That doesn't seem to do anything. That doesn't seem to do anything. That doesn't seem to do anything. Oh, okay. What are these colors? Am I playing Lucky Panel or something? Are those the ones that I need to, like, hit? I need to hit all the red ones at once with the 4-sword thing or something? That seems like it could be likely. These things sometimes drop hearts, but not enough, it seems. Man, you interrupted my nonsense. No? Okay. Probably gonna be all the right side ones. I don't really want to be standing next to him. Really need to bait him over on this to the side of the screen. I also need to get rid of some of this. Can I shoot these? No. Thankfully these things don't do too much damage, so I'm not convinced it's going to stay that way. I'm not convinced he's not going to have stronger attacks, but I think I've healed more on this fight overall than I've gotten hurt. Or at least it's been close. So I'm not overly concerned at the moment. Okay. This is going to be some weird pattern of like every other one. Not every other one. Left side? Left side. Ah. That's silly. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Top? No, it can't be top because we're already... Back to the bottom again? No. Let's break up some of these. Earlier in the fight, they dropped hearts a couple times, but I'm not getting any hearts now. It's like they only drop hearts when you're really low or something. It's odd. Oh boy. Guess it's back to the right side. Oops. What is this madness? I have the power of a god. I have unstoppable might. How could I lose to a child? Kapow. Let's break the curse on Zelda. Is it Ogre? Must return Princess Zelda to normal. Done. Thank you so much for saving me. When I was turned to stone, I saw visions of you as if in a dream. Looks like the curse has been broken. Uh-oh. Escape sequence? Save the animals? No. No escape sequence. Head back to the sanctuary. Where's the sanctuary? I knew where it was in light Hyrule. I don't know where it is in dark Hyrule. I guess everything else is blocked off, so... You will not escape, boy. Now you will see the true power of the Light Force. For I have become Vadi, the master of this world. It's not over yet. No GG's yet. I'm probably actually gonna die to this guy, because I'm really hurt still. It didn't give me any health. Is there a reason to, like, shrink for this fight? That's not what I wanted to do. Just trying to roll. I'm actually gonna die here. Oh, I can't shoot this as... I can't shoot the boas. Little dude. Well... Can't do anything as little dude. Why is this here? Okay. I'm gonna die because I've fallen off the edge. Well... Game over. Wah, wah. Do I have to redo all of that again? We sure do. Okay. Well, at least I'm not worried about the first boss again. I know you do, PM. This final boss seems like okay so far. No complaints. I kind of assumed that it wasn't over. Oh my god, no! No! Let's go get those fairies again. This time I'm gonna do what I did last time and just charge directly through. And take the 1 heart of damage boost. did I drop 157 frames? Okay. Kinstone piece. I'm glad that I'm nearing the final boss, and these enemies are still dropping kinstone pieces for me. Can't wait for the time when I get to give my the breakdown of my opinion at the end of the game. Can I bomb these idiots? I can. They don't stay stunned very long, though. That's not really effective. What? I really want to kill the red ones first. Rather than trying to kill the Black Knight with friends. Although if I get the free hits in the Black Knight, I'll take them. Okay. God, this guy is dumb! It's so dumb that he, like, when he charges, you, like, can't catch up to him to hit him. Before he just turns around. He's got 1 billion health and his vulnerability window's tiny. Alright, let's equip the ultimate weapon, the vacuum cleaner. Link, stop! Hello? Am I not close enough to hit that? No? Stop teleporting. Can you imagine getting to the end of the speedrun and just losing your run because the dude teleports 1,000 times? I'm sure that happens all the time. I'm sure it drives runners insane. Okay, well, we didn't use up our fairies on that this time, so we're already in much better shape. Hopefully, I still get some hard drops here, like I did last time. At least occasionally. I won't really be upset as long as I don't. Like, as long as I exit this with my fairies still, I won't be too upset. Part of me wonders if this is really necessary or not, but it definitely seems to work better. What is it, right side? Hey, we do get hearts. More hearts. Top? Nope. Left side? Nope. Bottom, I guess? This guy's still moving pretty slow. Last time I got, when I got this far into the fight, or at least when I got a ways into the fight, he sped up. But maybe it's because I'm left side. Hitting him with, that's twice now I've only had one link for the, once the shell drops. Oh my god, stop hitting him. Instantly canceled. Okay, probably just one more. See if we can get any, parts or anything. Right side. Oh my god, hit the one that's left. This guy's super annoying. And the fight isn't terribly hard, it's just annoying. But thou must. Okay. I was hoping to break those pots again to see if there was health there. Oh, I shot her with a bow. Oops. That's, that's not what you're supposed to do. Thankfully, she's stone. It doesn't hurt her. Let's see if there's anything else here before going to the sanctuary, like health or anything. It's a little bit lame that they give you those 2 boss fights in a row. I mean, I guess they give you a fair amount of health during them, but they don't give you a chance to, like, recharge. Like that. Imagine if I had just gone down here. Oh, I did. I did go down here last time, but maybe it was when I was just in the castle? I know I'd been in that room before and I got no... Or at least a room that looked exactly like it and had no healing. But maybe it was earlier. Anyway, whatever. I don't think I went in there last time, so... My own fault. True power of the light force. Yeah. Alright, let's see if I can figure out how to hurt this guy this time. Clawman. Can't seem to do anything. Oh my god. I mean, I can try shrinking again, but when I did this last time, it didn't let me do anything with it. Still doesn't. Try bombs? That hand is a real pain. One of those gizmos. I didn't use a hint button. It just popped up and said it. Oh my god! No, none of my gizmos do anything. Maybe I haven't used the bow. Maybe I haven't used the boomerang. Bro, I swear I hit it with that before. Also, like, what now? What now? God. Well, the thing was, like, I had tried using it on him once before, and it didn't do anything. Oh, I get it. Yeah, it's this dumb thing. That's why there's the hole in it. I can't pick it up? Please tell me there aren't going to be a ton of phases of this. I don't really want to die to this guy again. Why is his hand back? Didn't I just blow it up? Am I not fast enough or something? God, that's so dumb. There, I hit it again with the cane and it didn't do anything. I guess depending on where you hit. Oh my god. I can't, like, vacuum clean these guys, right? Nope. Bombs? Bow? Oh my god, I don't have the sword equipped. Sword? I don't know. Oh, I think I get it. Maybe. Link, can you not jump off straight down? That's all I ask of you. Jump to the right instead of on top of the boss. Okay, maybe I don't get it. Oh no. Well, back on top of the claw. And we're dead. I can't get back into Big Link without taking 50,000 damage. Alright. Let's go top up on fairies again, do it all over. I liked the boss until this phase, but this phase is really dumb. The inexplicable cane not working. Sometimes. Or, I don't want to say it's inexplicable, but like without feedback. Like you don't hear it dink off the claw or anything, or at least barely. It just like, if you hit part of the claw, it just doesn't work. And then I have no idea what's happening on this second claw. Alright. Do it again. Yeah, give me a little bit of a headache. Third time's a charm? Well, we'll see. Ever just, like, play a bunch of games in a series and have it make you wonder if you even like that series? Definitely Zelda for me. Every time I play a Zelda game, I'm like, this kind of sucks. I know I was saying earlier in the stream that I was considering replaying all of them, and that's still true. Or not replaying, well, a mix of replaying and playing new ones. And I'm still considering it. But, No, I like Zelda 2. I like Link's Awakening. I like Link's Awakening when I'm not playing it in one sitting. At least. I like Wind Waker a lot. I was talking about Wind Waker earlier and how much I like that game. Hey, no problem. Thanks for stopping by. Sorry you didn't get to see the ending. And Twilight Princess is okay. I sort of have, like, mixed opinions on Twilight Princess. The good parts of Twilight Princess I really like. Like, most of the dungeons are really good. But the stuff in between the dungeons and TP is just, like all the escort quests and everything. Very tedious. I know I say that after saying I like Wind Waker, which also has a bunch of escort quests, but like I guess I just don't mind them as much as the ones in TP. Like escorting the caravan multiple times and that sort of thing. Kind of a pain in the butt. But, anyway, it's more than just OOT. I've watched TP speedruns a few times. I think it looks alright. Well, parts of it look alright. I know there's been like some route changes, so I don't really know what the current route looks like. Part of my issue with TP also is just that some of like the new items in TP that it introduces are just dumb. Like the gear that you get in Arbiter's Ground. Like, it both doesn't make sense and also it hello? Yeah, exactly. So there's very few uses for it that don't feel contrived. The item itself doesn't really make sense. And, I don't think it doesn't make sense, but like, you also don't really use it much after, like, where you get it. Like, I talk about this all the time when I play Zelda games. But it really does, like, impact my opinion of the game as to whether items, like, whether you actually need to know and remember what you have. Like this. As much as, like, the vacuum annoys me, and the cane of Pachisi, like, as much as they're dumb items, I like that the game forces you to remember that you have them and use them. Like, I appreciate that aspect of it. Even if I don't like the items. It's better than, like, the wheel, where it just feels like you don't really need to know that you have it. Except for the dungeon where you get it. And, like, when you spin the wheel, you're just, like, sitting there, like, mashing the spin button for what feels like a million years. For, like, no reason. Like, maybe push the button once or twice, but, like, don't make me mash it for 10 seconds just to do the thing. I don't like the boss of that area, of that dungeon. It's like, kind of feels gimmicky. I don't know. I just don't like that item. The dungeon itself is okay. Arbiter's Ground is like a pretty cool looking dungeon. But just the item in it is eh. Side. But I really like the Yeti Mansion. The dungeon's pretty cool, and I like the flail. And the Yeti making soup for you. I haven't gotten any hard drops from these things yet. Not that, like, it really matters. Have I played Master Quest? I have not. If I do decide to play through a bunch of Zelda games casually, I'll do OOT on Master Quest, since I haven't played it. Or I might just do it one day, regardless. Like, I know OOT well enough that, like... Hello? That I'm not, like... Like, I don't think the game's gonna take me long, even if I do it on Master Quest. Although, I don't know. Maybe. Probably take for granted some of the puzzles that I know. Also probably take for granted just, like, skipping a bunch of stuff in a speedrun that maybe it'll take me longer than I think. I actually kind of want to, I was going to see at some point if Cowie would have any interest in racing it. I mean, the answer's probably not, but I kind of want to try doing, like, an OOT glitchless, quote-unquote, run at some point. I don't necessarily want to say run, but, like, just playing through it fast, glitchless. But the glitchless rules, like... are so weird that, like, actual glitchless or... Cowie's played Master Quest, yeah. We should find something to race, though. At some point soon. After DQRTIM. It's been a while. Okay, let's try this again. Yeah, I found it last time too. Oh, you know what else that I kind of want to play? I might wait until after DQRTIM though. I don't know if I'll stream it or just play it off stream, but the new Pokemon Snap comes out tomorrow. I pre-ordered it, so it's like already on its way. Not that, like, the Pokemon Snap games are overly exciting, but they're pretty chill. I remember really liking the The original when it came out. No, I don't want to play DQ6. I don't like DQ6. I've played DQ6. I've beaten DQ6. I won't be too upset if I never play DQ6 again. Really? That doesn't work, huh? Also doesn't work. 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 Oh, okay. I get it. Well... Why? Why does one keep reflecting at a weird angle? Can't do it when he does it back to back like that. Weird angle that time. Now do I have to do the hands again? No, no hands. Okay. I was really scared about that. Now is it over? Fool! But the light force. I had such power. You guys have said GG before. I feel like I'm being debated. Not actually. I think it's actually over now. Thank goodness you're safe. Defeated Vadi, you were so brave. Lost so much. The castle, all those people. Hey, the hat's a person again. Eslo. Keeps like skipping ahead an extra dialogue. I apologize that a couple of those flickered by too quickly. My controller's a little janky. I'm still playing with one of the 8-bit ones, but I'm playing with the regular SNES style pad. This time instead of the thicker Pro Plus. One with a just heart wears this cape, things can be made right again. Let your wishes be made real. She looks a lot less cute with that ugly red hat, by the way. I could have turned them back to normal anyway. I've got a magic sword that unstones people. The hat is falling apart. It's overflowing with the power of life. That's convenient. The evil guy can do evil for as much as you want, but you do something good once and it all falls apart. Does it have words? I don't think so. Except this. I don't want it. I'll just have to do a DQ2 run now so I can actually have a song to sing at the end, right? Or DQ3. DQ3 is probably the better idea, considering the marathon coming up. No, I'm not actually going to do DQ2 or DQ3, by the way. Okay. Have to DQ. No, I'm not actually playing it. So that's a cool picture. I like that artwork of Zelda there. This game. I'm torn. In general, I think the game was fine. I feel like it played things a little too safe. Like, they didn't really do anything new or interesting with this game. And so it kind of just felt a little bit boring because of that. Like, I don't think the big little mechanic was enough to, like, be interesting. And so it kind of felt a little bit boring as a result. Just like a standard Zelda game, which like isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it's also not a great thing. It's just like a very average thing. Some of the dungeons and bosses were kind of fun, some of them were kind of not. I didn't like the Sky Dungeon at all. Or, yeah, the Sky Dungeon... Yeah, didn't like that dungeon at all. Especially the second half. The endgame boss was, like, again, kind of a pretty typical Zelda end boss, especially 2D Zelda end boss, where it's like you don't really know what to do, and you die a couple times trying to figure out what to do, and it's got a bunch of different phases, and, you know, it was fine. Like I said, it wasn't great, wasn't bad, it was just fine. A lot of the side content I didn't really like. The kinstones were annoying. The shells giving you figurines were, like, what's the point? But mostly the kinstone stuff just felt really bad. It's like go around mashing buttons, talking to people, pick the obvious one from the list of obvious ones. You have it. Run halfway across the world and hope it's something that doesn't suck. It's kind of the same thing that it's some of the same thing that I complained about in Majora's Mask, right? With the side content, was that a lot of the side content seemed high effort and somewhat annoying for what was often a lackluster reward. Or at least you didn't know if it would be a good reward. Kind of felt that way about this a little bit too. And you know, I know I said the first stream, maybe it was the second stream, beginning of the second stream, but I think it was the first one. Oh, this sword bothers me. Like the angle that it's at, the sword looks upside down. I know that doesn't make any sense, but the sword looks like it should be flipped left to right or something. I don't know. It looks weird. Anyway, I know I said, let's go to the file select so we get music. I know that I said I like this game more than Majora's Mask at the beginning. But by the end of it, I question that. I question whether or not this was better or worse than Majora's Mask. It was more average than something like Majora's Mask. The good parts of Majora's Mask were better than the best parts of this game. But the bad parts of Majora's Mask were worse than the worst parts of this game. But in general, I probably appreciate Majora's Mask more than this. I probably had more fun overall. I don't want to even say fun. I probably overall had a higher opinion of this game than I did of MM, but I think I appreciate MM more because it took more chances, it did more interesting things. Even if I'm not super happy about the outcome, I think Majora's Mask is cooler than this game, much cooler than this game. There are good parts of Majora's Mask. There are a few parts of Majora's Mask when I played it that I really enjoyed. I liked a lot of the dungeons and bosses. I remember really enjoying Great Bay Temple until I got to the boss. I think Stone Tower was pretty fun. I think the Woodfall Temple was pretty fun. I remember being a little bit iffier on the... I forget what the Goron dungeon is called. I remember being a little bit iffier on that, but... I think Clocktown is also really cool. like as a city. Like it's bustling with activity and there's lots of stuff there, and like it's got good music and it's aesthetically kind of cool. There are definitely parts of MM that I thought were really good. It's just like the bad parts of MM annoyed me disproportionately, perhaps. And some of it was my own fault. I've said this before, but like I went into MM with bad expectations, and I remember also like a lot of those MM streams I was drinking. And not that I was drinking a lot, not that I was like getting drunk while playing it, but you know, it's enough that like have a couple beers and then get frustrated on something, and it's easy to just like escalate those emotions. And I didn't approach MM well. I know I had a couple of beers yesterday, or not yesterday, 2 days ago, whenever the last time I played this was, but it was fine. It wasn't like I wasn't getting super emotional because of it. Whereas MM, it all just kind of compounded. I feel really bad. I kind of almost want to like delete my highlights of playing that game because I feel really bad about how that game turned out. Part of me wants to give MM another chance, but if I do, I might not stream it. I might do it off stream. We'll see. That way I don't feel bad about quitting if I still don't like it. All the figurines. They're even special post-game ones. Oh no. Stream it again and pretend it's the first time again. I could stream it on. I could stream 3DS. Do MM 3DS. See if it fixes any of my complaints, because I haven't played through the 3DS. I played a little bit of 3DS. I played up to, I don't know, I think I got partway through the Goron dungeon on 3DS when it first came out, and then quit. Not really quit, just like stopped playing for whatever reason. But yeah, I think my takeaway was that MM is a better game than this. But I'm glad I played this. Like, it was fine. And it was short, right? Like, 3 streams, 5 for 3.5 hours, so 12.5 hours or so? Maybe 12? Some of that was doing random side junk, like kinstones and things like that. Like, it was a pretty comfy playthrough, pretty short. Didn't really overstay its welcome. Oh yeah, I never went back to the Goron guy. That's fine. I have absolutely no interest in doing more of the side stuff of this game, so... And I'm fine with that. There are some games that I feel compelled to try to 100%. Mostly collectathon type games, right? Like 120 starring Mario 64 or 100% Banjo-Kazooie or something like that. Like some games I feel compelled to just do that because that's what the game is about. Zelda games and many games are not on that list. And especially with like the increase of backlogs and other games that I want to play and other games that I like playing or speedrunning, like if I force myself to try to 100% or high percent games that, especially games that I don't like, or even content that I don't like, then it's going to both lower my opinion of the game and also take time away from other things I could be playing. Want to get all the item upgrades. So, I guess that's a question, right? Like, does anybody know, like, what stuff I missed? Obviously, I'm missing 2 bottles, right? I think I'm missing 1 scroll plus the Grandmaster dude. I'm assuming. I don't know what abilities those give you. Yeah, bottles are just more health. Like, I don't really care about that. Obviously, there's a better wallet somewhere. There are these 3 slots that I have nothing in. What was for sale for 600? An upgraded quiver and an upgraded bomb bag. I'm assuming that there might have also been another quiver upgrade that I missed somewhere from like a Great Fairy, because I found a Great Fairy that gave me the 30 bomb bag. So I'm wondering if there was a Great Fairy for the quiver. Does anyone know where the wallet was that goes bigger than 500? Or like what these slots are supposed to be? I'll check the shop again just to double check what I was saying, but now without looking them up, yeah, I can look them up then after. I'm not worried about that then. Just if anyone happened to know. Oh, but this right here, this is the best part of the game. Like the sprites, the artwork. Malon is so cute. Princess Zelda is also so cute. Link is also really cool, although I actually like the Link sprite without the hat more. But the artwork in this game was really good. Like, even just like the bell with the little wing Triforce thing on top. The horse looks like wood, though, by the way. This looks like a toy horse and cart. I know I say the artwork is good, but I question it on the horse. Going to get the flippers. Hey, these guys are all gone. Wasn't one of these shut before? This one? Oh, I know. Did I never go back in here? Let's check out what's here. Oh no, I did go in here. I just can't open it. You want to fuse kinstones? Sure. That's the figurines reward? What, getting into that building? Yeah. Can definitely use some balance updates for sure, Callie. Although, I still think you're like... I think gold is less the problem than just the strong items. Like, when I was playing, I was finding way more strong items in chests than I was, like, buying them. Obviously, there are, every now and then, like, an item will come up, like the Flail of Destruction that you can buy 4 of or something, and that's kind of dumb. But, in general, I was finding more of the good stuff in chests that you have to check anyway than at shops. I also think tiering would fix that a little bit too. Like if the good items just didn't show up as often in early shops. I do the Cucko thing. I did a couple times. I don't know if there was more to it or not. The last one I did, she made me catch 5. But I assume that oh, really? Throw it. But, like, maybe there are faster times or whatever. No way I'm gonna be able to get one more. Spent too long on that first gold one. Try it again. There we go. I think when I was doing this before, I didn't have the, Oh my god. Blocked by the postman? I don't know. The, they don't count for multiple now. But I think the one that I did before where I caught a gold one, I think I got more money for it. Because that's all she gave me was money. Alright, let's try this again. The rolling is pretty quick, so I mean, I don't even really know exactly how much the boots help, but they must help some. Especially for this one. This is kind of tight on time. I think I'll make it. Time's up, that's it. 30 mysterious shells. 90 rupees. Yeah, it's the same thing as before. But so I've done the 5 cuckoos 3 times. And once she gave me 90, where I got a gold one, the second time she gave me like, I think 45. And the third time was 90 again. So I think the gold one just gives you more money as a reward. I never did figure out what to do with the ghost. I never did find the girl that he wants to rent his place to. Oh, she's got kinstones now. She didn't when I came here and tried before. Mama. Oops. I don't even know why I'm doing this. I'm not gonna go find all these things. Chai. Oh hey, it's the other, fountain. Breve? I have no idea how to say this girl's name. Look at all these kinstones to fuse. The color's gotta mean something. I feel like the red ones have given the best stuff. And I've found the red ones in, like, dungeon chests, whereas the green ones just, like, drop in dumb places. Not rupees, but happiness. Where am I feel happier. Yeah, I'm really, really happy. Thrilled. Alright. We're gonna stop here. I'm not gonna do any more of the side stuff, there's no point. Anyway, yeah, I gave my spiel about what I thought about this game. It was fine. Glad I played it. Probably will never play it again. And I'm okay with that. It was good enough. Yeah, so I'm hoping to... Before I cut, what are my thoughts on this line from Minish Cap Randomizer's README? We plan to extend this as far as possible in the game, including future modes such as Kinsanity. God help us. No. No. Sometimes things are just going too far. I appreciate that they are adding the mode. Because why not? However, why anyone would play that? It sounds awful. New bad idea race. No, that's okay. Anyway, plans are hopefully this weekend, tomorrow or this weekend, get together a DQ1 race at some point. Been trying for a while. Star's got his console back up and running, so maybe it'll happen. I really want to try to do DQ9 one day this weekend. I need to wake up early enough to, like, start before noon. Again, might YOLO a J run. Might do it in English, I don't know, we'll see. But I really should try DQ9 again. Next week, end of next week is DQRTA Marathon. So that'll be cool. After DQRTA Marathon, next casual game, I've been saying it's going to be MGS3, so I guess it's going to have to be MGS3. And then after that will be probably Quest 64, tentatively. I don't know exactly when I'm going to play or start that, so after DQRTA Marathon, my plan is to learn Final Fantasy I NES and do some runs of that, the marathon route of that. And depending on how I feel about that run, if it ends up being fun or not fun or whatever, we'll kind of decide on when I want to do casual stuff. That's the nice thing about going back to something like FF1, not going back to that game specifically, but it's a shorter run, right? Like it's something that I can do on a weeknight, do a run, call it a stream. Like stuff like DQ9 where it has to be a weekend. And then I feel like I shouldn't do anything else during the week. I don't know. I don't really like the way that feels. But so FF1 NES for speedrunning after DQRTAM. I've also been feeling the itch a little bit for DQ3. Ever since I did that Rusty run like a week or two ago, where I got a 305 with like tons of disasters. Had a better second half than my PB. It's like, you know what? My PB is kind of free. It's not actually free, but it feels that way. So DQ3 might happen at some point, but it probably won't. FF1 NES, MGS3. Those are the things that are up next. And maybe try to find a bad idea to race with Cowie or something. We haven't done one in a while, and I'd like to do one. We'll have to we just have to find something that isn't 20 hours long. It's really the thing. We don't have ideas to have bad ideas. What else? Yeah. Two-parter or something long? I'm down for that. I also, like, it's not streaming or speedrunning related, but I've been trying to mess around with, like, some music stuff lately. Nothing, like, fancy, but just both playing and, like, I don't know, playing around with, like, recording and stuff like that. I picked up some, like, a drum programming plugin. I picked up a synthesizer plugin. I picked up a virtual bass plugin. I just bought a 25 key MIDI controller. Just came in today. I haven't even hooked it up yet. I kind of just want to, like, play around with just, like, recording different sounds and, like, mixing kind of thing. Not doing anything crazy, just, like, I don't know, playing around with, like, putting together different instruments and sounds and mixing them and making things sound good or whatever. I don't know any, like, music theory or composition or anything like that, but stuff I just want to, like, play around with. So I might put some time into that couple weeks, rather than speedrunning or streaming. Or maybe do it on the weekends or something. I don't know. But that might take a little bit of time, depending on how fun it ends up being. We'll see. Anyway, that's all for me. Anybody streaming? Holmes is still working on DQ8 Casual. Darkwing Duck's doing Wario's Wood speedruns. Link to the Past rando. 5-day Outer Heaven marathon that started 6 days ago is still going. Oh yeah, Retrothon's still going. I don't know what they're doing now. I don't know what the schedule for Retrothon is like, but Cowie's, Cowie had his Death Rally run earlier, and anybody who didn't watch Cowie play Death Rally should check out that VOD when it's up, because he did a really good job. It was a really fun run.